The Black Seminoles are a unique group of people with a rich history of resilience, cultural blending, and resistance to oppression. Descended from enslaved Africans who escaped to Florida and allied with the Seminole people, they played a significant role in American history. Their story connects to the broader Underground Railroad, which not only led enslaved people north to freedom but also south to Mexico. This report explores the history of the Black Seminoles, their role in the Seminole Wars, their migration to Mexico, and their lasting legacy. During the late 1600s and 1700s, enslaved Africans fled British-controlled Georgia and South Carolina to seek freedom in Spanish Florida. The Spanish government offered sanctuary to those who converted to Catholicism and pledged loyalty to Spain. These escaped Africans settled among the Seminole people, adopting aspects of Seminole culture while preserving African traditions. Over time, they became known as the Black Seminoles or Seminole Maroons. The Black Seminoles played a crucial role in the Seminole Wars, 1816 to 1858, fighting against U.S. forces that sought to capture and re-enslave them. Many white slaveholders feared that their presence in Florida would encourage enslaved people in the South to rebel. As a result, the U.S. government launched a series of military campaigns to remove both the Seminoles and Black Seminoles from Florida. After the Second Seminole War, 1835 to 1842, the U.S. government forced most Seminoles and Black Seminoles to relocate to Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma, as part of the Trail of Tears. While some complied, others resisted or fled deeper into the Florida swamps. While the Underground Railroad is often associated with enslaved people escaping to the northern United States and Canada, some also sought freedom by fleeing south to Mexico. Mexico abolished slavery in 1829 under President Vicente Guerrero, who was of African descent. This made Mexico a safe destination for those fleeing slavery, in the U.S. Enslaved people in Texas, Louisiana, and other southern states could escape across the Rio Grande into Mexican territory. Even after reaching northern states, many black people were still at risk of being captured under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Mexico provided a refuge where U.S. slave catchers had no authority. Many freedom seekers traveled on foot or by horseback, guided by black and indigenous allies. Some found refuge with free black communities and sympathetic Mexicans, while others took advantage of their location near the border and escaped directly into Mexico. By the 1850s, some Black Seminoles refused to remain in Indian Territory under U.S. control. Led by John Horse, a Black Seminole leader, they migrated to northern Mexico, where they were welcomed by the Mexican government. In exchange for land, they agreed to serve as military scouts and protect against Apache raids. These Black Seminoles became known as the Mascogos, and their descendants still live in Coahuila, Mexico today. The story of the Black Seminoles is an important chapter in the history of resistance to slavery. Their history challenges the common idea that the Underground Railroad only led north and highlights the global struggle for freedom. Today, descendants of Black Seminoles live in Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, and Mexico, preserving their rich cultural heritage. The history of the Black Seminoles and the Underground Railroad to Mexico is a powerful example of determination, resilience, and the fight for freedom. Their journey from enslavement to liberation through alliances, wars, and migration shows the complexity of African American and indigenous histories. In 1976, the U.S. government awarded a $56 million settlement to the Seminole Nation as compensation for lands taken in Florida during the 19th century. The distribution of these funds became contentious, especially concerning the inclusion of Black Seminoles. Historically, Black Seminoles have faced challenges in being recognized as full members of the Seminole Nation, affecting their eligibility for such reparations. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Seminole Nation received federal relief funds through the CARES Act, which allocated $8 billion to tribal governments. Reports indicate that Black Seminoles were excluded from benefiting from these relief programs, highlighting ongoing issues of disenfranchisement within the tribe. As of February 2025, there have been renewed discussions about reparations for historical injustices in Oklahoma. The Black Seminoles continue to seek recognition and equitable treatment within the Seminole Nation, striving for inclusion in reparations and relief efforts.